What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. And today we're going to be taking a look at my 1:400 scale Spirit Airlines collection. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, guys. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Spirit Airlines fleet, which is certainly in a really weird hodgepodge right now. So it's really cool to have all of these right now. So no, I don't anticipate on keeping this many Spirit planes. And I'll go ahead and explain why I have so many and talk about the details as we go throughout today's video. Also, a big shout out to Aviation J777X. I know that he's really loves Spirit and the whole deal with the JetBlue merger. So regardless of the outcome of it, but he wanted this video really bad. So Jay, this is for you, buddy. So anyways, really excited to talk about the Spirit fleet today. So I'm going to go ahead and briefly explain why I have so many, and then we'll talk about each particular example here in the collection. So as all of you may know, if you've been around for some time in the model aircraft landscape, GeminiJets released several Spirit Airlines aircraft, including A319, A320 variants, A320neos, and so on, and even some A321s and others. And then NG models came onto the mix in late 2023. They released a plethora of Spirit Airlines aircraft, also A319, various A320s, A320neos, A321, A321neo, all the aircraft that Spirit has. So throughout this process, I decided to replace all my GeminiJets ones with NG due to slightly better quality and overall just staying congruent and how nice they look. So that's the reason that you're seeing right now all these Spirit Airlines aircraft is that I haven't got a chance to sell all of my GeminiJets ones yet. The only one I've sold so far is one Airbus A320neo, and luckily I believe I'm going to have a few of those in today's airport update. I believe these two are right here. So anyways, enough backstory, but there's quite a few of them in here, and I'll let all of you know which ones I plan on keeping and which ones I plan on selling, and also I'm just scooting it up for some better light because it's starting to go away, so just want to give the best light that we could before we get started with today's video. So again, really hope each and every one of you are looking forward to this. There's a bunch of cool aircraft in here, just making sure that the light is as good as possible. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get started. So this is these two are completely unrelated to what I was just talking about. Here's my two Spirit Digital Airbus A319s. I've had these for about 10 years or so now, so very glad to have both of them. One of which is pretty beat up. It's this one. The nose landing gear got had to be re-glued, and also that horizontal stabilizer is not great. But anyway, they're still really nice. This one's in great condition. So glad to have both these. Really cool livery, and certainly hope to get a Skittles one at some point. I did fly a Crowns livery, whatever you want to call it, previously, so I'd love to get one of those at some point. But nevertheless, the primary focus is going to be the bananas going forward and for the immediate future. So you can see two Airbus A319s right here. The one on the left is the GeminiJets, and the one on the right is the NG version. They're honestly very similar. You just see some differences with the landing gears. Pretty much the engines and all those components of it are pretty much the same. The NG is a two-piece mold, but they're really pretty similar. You can see the differences here. So let me know if you'd like a model comparison on this. I might make some just because of how unique the differences are. So Gemini will be sold. It is a really great model. There's no problems with it. In fact, I contemplated whether I wanted to replace them or not, but due to the other aircraft that we'll talk about here in a little bit with some QC issues, I decided that it would just be best to get them all. And this one's fantastic. This is perfect. So as you can see right here, these two A319s look really good. This one was released around 2015, and this one was released in late 2023. So very glad to have both these. They're really nice, and certainly glad to get to feature them in today's Fleet by Type video. So really cool aircraft, and very glad to have them here in the fleet. The next aircraft we'll take a look at is some Airbus A320s for fence tips. So you're going to see three examples of those. This is the Panda Models one from the RN Model Store exclusive. This one is the Aero Classics one. I believe this came out in 2022 at some point. And this one is the NG that came out. So unfortunately, I don't have the fourth one. There is somewhere another one of these that I believe I bought. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know if I bought another one or not, but I thought that maybe they did one or two of the fence tip ones. Anyway, though, what the plan is that I'm going to sell this one, the Aero Classics one, which is also a very good model, in favor of this one due to more aerials, more features, and it looks just slightly better. This model is still really good. Aero Classics did do a really good job on it. It's the hybrid delivery as well, which is also really worth noting. So you're going to see here, I think, three completely different hybrids here. So let's talk about that. So Spirit has recently revised their livery. So what they did was they took these titles from having scratches in them, and they took it from having Home of the Bear Fair on the engine to a filled-in titles like this, and also Spirit.com on the engine. So we have multiple variations of this with these aircraft. So this one has the sketched out titles and the Home of the Bear Fair engines. They are model store exclusive. This is what they originally looked like. This one is a hybrid between the two. So this has the sketch titles, but it has the Spirit.com engines. So that's really cool. And this one is what they're going to look like once they're all said and done. So this has the filled-in Spirit titles and the Spirit.com engines. I think this personally looks really slick, especially with the raccoon mask on the newer aircraft that we'll take a look at here in a little bit. But I still do really like these two. So I am going to keep the Panda though, because it is fully original, and I do have some more hybrids that NG did down the road. So we're going to take a look at those here in a minute. But nevertheless, wish I could keep this one, and maybe I will. I'll think about it. But anyway, certainly glad to have them. And again, this one is the full old A319, and they have multiple versions of this as well. So it's not the end of the world to have a hybrid. Of course, it's still technically the banana livery, so it's close enough in my opinion. But it is really cool to note these differences. Next up, we're going to take a look at two Airbus A320s. This is the GeminiJets one that came out in 2015-16 area. This is the Shotcut one that NG recently did. So I am going to sell this one. This one's still really good. This had the hybrid GeminiJets mold, so it has the taller landing gear, but it's that weird, and it's like a one piece, but it's a two piece at the same time type mold, if that makes sense. Only a couple models with this. It was this one, Griswold the Bear, and a couple others that Gemini did. And then you're going to see this Airbus A320. This is a great model by NG. They killed it with regards to the various components. This is the completely old livery with the engine and titles. So yeah, both really cool aircraft. Certainly glad to have both here in the fleet. I will sell this one because this one's slightly better, but certainly a great model, and glad to have this one in the fleet. So that's fantastic. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look here at the Airbus A320 Neo. So again, I did have 3 GeminiJets ones, and you probably may remember that from the last Fleet by Type on Spirit. I have sold one of those since. This one is also going to be sold. This one's missing a front antenna, so that one's going to be sold, but I am going to keep this one so I can have one GeminiJets version, and then I'm also now have the NG one as well, so that's fantastic. So this one is also a hybrid. It has the sketched out titles but Spirit.com engines, which is really neat on a Neo, so that's really cool. They also did one with the raccoon mask. I'm not sure what the status of the engine and titles is. I think it's all just Spirit.com. I believe it's the new iteration. That one is on the way, so that'll be in the next Fleet by Type video. So I'm sorry that we're a couple Spirit planes short in this video, but what can we do about it? So anyway though, I will keep this one and this one, of course. This one's great, but unfortunately I just don't need all of these. And additionally, I have another 320 Neo. So this is the GeminiJets version with the raccoon mask. It is full Spirit.com. You can see Spirit filled in and Spirit.com there. So this is the GeminiJets release, and then we'll have the NG with the raccoon mask. So that's going to give me now 4 versions of the 320 Neo, 2 without mask, 2 with, and I think that's more than enough. So that's why this one's got to go. So certainly still glad to have it, but nevertheless a very interesting contrast between all these Airbus A320 Neos. So taking a look at all those right there, they look really cool. Okay, the 321s are a little bit simpler, luckily. We just have a GeminiJets and an NG models one. This was the 2020 August release, and this was the July 2020 release here. Actually, I think they both may have been July, but they came out around the same time. So this is the only Spirit model I have left with a white Wi-Fi box. So that's an interesting observation. And then this one, of course, doesn't have a Wi-Fi box. Now, NG did do this again, and I don't believe it had the Wi-Fi box. I'm going to verify that, because if it did, I'm probably going to flip-flop this one too. So I'm going to check that after I finish recording this video. But nevertheless, they did do another one, and I believe it's relatively available. So if you are interested, feel free to go get it. But nevertheless, I'm going to have these two. So I do need to check on that though, because if it does, I definitely will follow up and get it to make it as realistic as possible. These both also have the fully old livery. The hybrid livery didn't come into play till a few years ago. And lastly, we have the Spirit Airlines Airbus A321 Neo by NG. This is solid for now. Once they get some more and another release comes out, I'll probably get another one. Gemini did do it, and they did a good job. So very similar to what you see here with this 320 Neo. Very same concept, just pretty much applied on a 321 Neo. So that's really cool. So very glad to have this. Have seen it a couple times now in real life. It's a gorgeous airplane, so awesome to have it in fleet here. And yeah, so the Spirit fleet's a little bit more complicated than what you would expect for how many models we have here, but I'm certainly very glad to have these. My Spirit goals are really complete right now. There's not too much more to elaborate on. I mean, of course, if they have some more hybrids and whatnot, I'll get some of those. But now that we have the 321 Neo out, the 319 Neo order, I believe, got canceled, which really sucks. So unfortunately, won't have that to look forward to, but hopefully we'll have some more hybrid liveries or maybe some specials at some point to look forward to. I don't know what the future of Spirit is, but nevertheless, whatever happens with them, I will still have some of their models in my collection. If they do end up selling, I'll probably sell some of the variations here of the 320, but nevertheless, I think there is 1, 2, 3, 4 aircraft I'm selling out of what you see right here, and I think that'll work out pretty well. So I think at the peak of this, if I would have had all of them at once, I think I would have had like 20 spirits, but nevertheless, you're seeing right now 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like 15 of them. So this is still a really impressive Spirit fleet, considering that I don't do Fort Lauderdale or another airport where Spirit is prominent, but they're still pretty prominent at DFW. So of course, we have all these options as to which Spirit planes we want to feature in the airport. So that's really cool. So yeah, I am going to check on the 321 though. So I'm eager to see if that has a box or not. If it does, then I might do a little flip flop there. But anyways, all these are really great. I highly recommend all of them, and so glad to have them here in the collection. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriv Aviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love you do. My name is Redriv Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriv Aviation is signing off.